New this week from Marvel Comics, The Incredible Hulk issue number 17, written by Phillip Kennedy Johnson, art by Nick Klein. The last 3 issues of The Incredible Hulk have offered some of the most exciting Hulk lore in the history of the Legacy title, which as of this issue is 798 issues long. Wait a second. That means that Legacy issue 800 is like right around the corner, which means that it's going to be the climax of this arc. And specifically, Johnson has fleshed out and returned to the ancient Hulk-centric prequel time period introduced in his criminally underrated one-shot, Hulk Time of Monsters from 2021, where he and artist Juan Ferreira detailed the origin of an ancient Hulk stepping through the eldritch green door into our reality. In the context of the current Incredible Hulk story, Johnson has used this previous iteration of the Hulk as the origin story for the conflict with Eldest, the servant of the Mother of Horrors, the big bad of this series thus far. Speaking vaguely here about issues 15 and 16 as to not spoil anything, but I have to stress that these are some of the boldest, most imaginative, most exhilarating pieces of Marvel media ever printed. I feel very strongly that this entire series by Johnson and Klein, and specifically this section, will be heralded and remembered in Marvel history much like Al Ewing's pivotal Immortal Hulk. In fact, as an avid Hulk fan and aspiring Hulk scholar, if I had to provide a comprehensive essential history reading list for a new reader of The Incredible Hulk, then I would list the following. These. The early eras of the Defenders should also be on this list because the Defenders is like the coolest Marvel team. I have thought a lot about what exactly it is that makes this latest series of The Incredible Hulk so great, so monumental, so praiseworthy. I think ultimately it comes down to tone. In our modern era of frankly oversaturated superhero comics, it can be difficult to cut through the grain and offer anything new. Because, realistically, most superhero comics don't have to be new, they have to be familiar. Which isn't a criticism, because I love those comics, and I like reading what I like. However, the sameness can develop a more tiresome aspect in certain instances. I mean, that is precisely why I don't read Spider-Man comics. I just really can't help but feel persistently annoyed that they keep spiritually de-aging him as a character and keep repeating the same pedestrian struggles over and over again. I mean, let the man age, goddammit! However, the Hulk, to me and to a lot of fans, has always managed to stand apart from other legacy superheroes, able to operate within and explore diverse, elevated thematic playing fields because of the character's elusive extraterrestrial quality. It is particularly exciting and noteworthy when a writer like Phillip Kennedy Johnson shares this perspective, boldly forging a strange new path for the Hulk to tread rather than returning to something familiar. I think this series is proof yet again that the Hulk is better suited in his own storyline as opposed to being a part of a grander team. Though there are, of course, exceptions to this rule in the long history of Marvel Comics. I think that the quality of this run of The Incredible Hulk is also demonstrably affected by the transcendent, evocative, monumental artwork from Nick Klein, who seems to be undertaking another career-defining moment in comics history after his previous laudable work on Thor. For the last 3 issues, I have had to stifle an audible gasp every time I turn the page and see what I'm looking at. If that isn't the definitive mark of amazing visual art, then I don't know what is. Let's stop meandering and talk more specifically about issue number 17, which means spoilers ahead. Mr. Boy, do you want to be in the video? No? The issue begins with the titanic imagery of a pyramid rising from the Las Vegas Strip in the desert, as we focus in on 2 distraught women on top of the pyramid looking down at the neon city below. Finally, it seems like we are entering into the boundary of the city that the Hulk was instructed to go to several issues ago by a flesh-weaving spider demon in order to restore the body of Hulk's child companion Charlie, who is now spiritually trapped inside of a ceramic doll by the fallen angel Frozen Charlotte. Have I expressed how fucking crazy this series is? It's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer with visceral body horror and kaiju fights. Focusing back in on the 2 women on top of the pyramid, they are approached by a stranger who offers them a respite from their failed attempts at fame and glory in Las Vegas by taking them to a group of similar idealistic dreamers. The stranger takes them down below into the pyramid and even further into the caves beneath the pyramid as they then encounter a group of the promised people surrounding a throne made out of a monstrous bat head. Rule number 1 of Las Vegas is obviously what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But the lesser known rule number 2 is if you encounter a group of people in a room with a bat head throne in the middle of it, you need to get the fuck out of there. The stranger then bids one of the unfortunate women to sit in the throne, upon which it springs to life and chomps down on her brain with the stranger's proclamation, "The House of Lycanna welcomes you." Then cut away from this frightening scene to Hulk's arrival in Las Vegas, springing from the crowded street to land on top of the pyramid, which is now emitting a beam of familiar green light. As the Hulk descends deeper into the pyramid, he is greeted by the voice of the Eldest, who informs him that this is the ancient temple of her daughter, Lycanna, the mother of skinwalkers. Eldest, appearing as she has in the previous issues as a businesswoman with cropped red hair, is disappointed to learn that the Hulk does not remember their encounter 4,000 years ago, which resulted in the Hulk, then called the Bullman Enkidu, and Eldest's mutual demise at the door of the Mother of Horrors prison. The Hulk, never one for chit-chat, strikes out at Eldest with all of his might, and she is, terrifyingly, completely unfazed. As the Hulk strikes out again and again, Eldest chides him by saying, "I am the first and strongest of our kind, and this flesh is but a garment. See my true form, little thing." As promised, with her decrepit finger pressed to the Hulk's temple, we behold the true form of Eldest for the first time, and oh my god! In an iconic, chilling splash, Klein renders the titanic, many-limbed, bat-winged, satanic halo-clad, hulking figure of the Eldest in what I can confidently say will be one of the most memorable pieces of Hulk comic art ever put to page. This series has already been filled with many memorable, specific, fear-inducing creature designs, but this is something greater, something otherworldly. As the Eldest tosses Hulk around, mutilating him with conjured spear-like tendrils, she offers Hulk a choice. Give the girl to the skinwalkers, who will make her one of their own, or, classically, surrender your flesh to me. Meanwhile, inside of Hulk's psyche, Bruce Banner cries out to the Hulk saying not to give up Charlie. Additionally, Bruce converses with what is obviously a demonic personification of Betty Ross, the Red Harpy, as she urges Bruce to give up Hulk's soul in order to save Charlie's life. A pact that Banner, coward that he is, agrees to, resulting in the final image of this issue with Hulk bound by uncanny chains and a sorcerer's symbol emblazoned on his chest, unwittingly fulfilling the paradoxical requirements for the Mother of Horrors release, that the avatar of the one below all, the Green Man, must be the one who opens the door imprisoning the Mother of Horrors. So with the Hulk now under the Eldest's control, goodbye Marvel Comics universe. It was nice while it lasted. I doubt the Celestials could even stop this. So, if you want to witness and be present for a unique, disturbing, mythical chapter in the history of the Hulk, you need to pick up The Incredible Hulk, issue number 17, on shelves at your local comic book store now. Klein is just on another level. I mean, this is a really simple page, but look at the way he splits those second and third panels and gives it this creepy quality. And then there's the insane shit like this. God, I love Klein's Hulk design. I mean, look at this guy. He's fucking massive. He has so much personality. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is just so cool. Ah!